MrPopZit here. The most common question I get asked is, what sunblock should I use? I've had 15 years to evaluate that question, and here's the answer. ISDIN. ISDIN. Link below in description, 10% off for the first purchase. Why is it the best? Medical grade, 100% mineral ultralight emulsion, melts into your skin. Their scientists micronize zinc oxide so you literally can't see it on your skin. 50 SPF made for daily use on the face, décolletage, and hands. Coenzyme Q10 antioxidants and DNA repair zones that reduce inflammation and actually repair UV light damage. Available in tinted, non-tinted, and a powder. My wife loves the tinted so much she stopped using foundation. Only available online or in a doctor's office, and this link only works in the United States. Literally the best sunblock I've ever put on my skin. Thanks for popping by. Okay guys, Craig Lynch, Derm PA here, MrPopZit. You can see when we pull some of the right side here where we've gone through and getting some of the clusters, we don't have as many bumps, but right through the center here on this left side, we've got some of the bigger ones above it, but this is one of our last quarter kind of areas. We did here, up here, and now we're coming down here. And I'm gonna try and see, she's getting more of what looks like the vellus hair cysts, these darker ones. I'm gonna see if we use an 11 blade and make just a 0.5 millimeter to 1 millimeter bigger cut, if I can get the forceps in and remove some of those hairs for her, which are likely giving the pigment. She does still have some of these. You can see a couple cluster there of the yellow ones that are steatos. We can get a couple of those and we'll get these black ones right below it. So we'll get her prepped and ready and then be back in just a second. Thanks to her for sharing. Okay, so we have some just little blebs of lidocaine in here. I can see the open pores on these small ones. They kind of hang on. So that's what we're going to check here with just a couple, one little poke here, and see if we can get a little cluster out there. Okay, so it's just a little bit bigger. There we go. Yeah. So you can see the dark right there in the middle. And just like I had suspected, that looks like a vellus hair cyst. And you'll see if you smear it, those are a little grouping of hairs, and that's the dark spot that you're seeing there. Right there, it's like a little cluster of smashed up hair there. It was dark. You can see them. So that's what I thought that these darker ones were full of, but you just got to make a little bit bigger to get that out. And at the bottom there, there's just a little left over. So that should take the pigment away. You can see the dark spots there. So we'll try that on a couple of these and on the darker ones here that you had down this way. Let's go to this one. This one might be just a little steato right there too. And yeah, that was a steato. I know, it's getting close to dinner time. So the steatos don't have the dark spots, so we'll just kind of drain those ones for you. Go right here, little poke. Okay, that's a steato. Popping right out. Another steato there. Good. And at the bottom, there's some hair on that too. So you see that dark hair right there. So that'll be rolled up at the bottom, giving it some dark pigment too. So this should get some of those out for you.
So it could be like the buttery thing
and then the pigment at the bottom, or more of that other one I just showed you that was kind of dried out and had a black dot at the bottom, which was a big cluster of hairs. So they both can have little vellus hairs in them. The vellus hair cysts tend to be a little bigger collection of dark hair and kind of a dried out sac sometimes, you'll see. I think I already got that one. Yeah, just a little bit of yellow left. Got that one as well. So we'll kind of move up to these next ones here. One here. I think those are both going to be steatos, just like that. Kind of comes right down through the middle. This is one of the darker ones here. A little pinch on that. That was just a smaller steato with the hair. Good. One here. Little pinch, sorry. Huh? 2 steatos. That's a cluster of hair though. Good. Quite a bit in there. We're getting a lot, so that's good. You can see the hair sticking right out of there. So you can just grab those hairs. They come right out very easily. Little cluster there. It's all rolled up. Good. And we'll get a couple up here. That's where one of the darker ones was. Right there. Steato. It's like 1 out of 10 is a full vellus. That's a vellus there. Sorry. Little push. You can see just a big cluster and more dried yellow right there of hair. That's good. A little bit here and here. Get the tips for that. That was a lot. Yeah, hairs at the bottom. Not painful, not bad. Good.
That was a lot.
Yeah, it really was. Quite a few hairs on there too.
Why do they have hairs though?
It's just in the pore there. These vellus hairs are kind of like the fuzz, peach fuzz. It's all over everybody's body.
Yeah,
so
I know it's normal, yeah, to have like how you have the peach fuzz and all that.
For sure.
But
so,
like I'm saying like you know how I had it's a sac, right, or whatever, like the.
Well, that's at the bottom. Those are like little cysts. It's at the bottom of each pore. There is a sebaceous gland, and like the pore itself is what the starts to encapsulate and grow like a little sac. And it kind of gets filled with hairs, kind of start to roll up in there, and that's when it starts to happen like that. Just tiny little poke here and here. Yeah. So also a lot of little tiny steatos you have. Two more here. There's a big group of hairs right there. So that's what's giving you some pigment on those ones that are yellow and then ones that are dark and some that are kind of in between. That's an in-betweener right there. Good. There's 2 more up here that we got just right at the edge there. 1 more there. Good. Little tiny sac on that one. That hurt a little?
No, it's okay.
Okay. Got it. Felt like it popped there. There it was. Just off to the side a little. We got that out. And there's just 1 or 2. Sometimes they bleed a little. We'll get those.
Did we get like the...
Yeah, that cluster, right? So you can see a couple of these dark ones. We got that. It fills with blood, and that's what makes it look dark right now. That happened on your last video too, where once we poke it, the little pocket kind of fills with blood, and then we push that out and then give you a little bit of a Band-Aid there, and that helps. That's the cluster right here. Can you see that little grouping? And then there's just a couple more, right? You can see them. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll get those right now for you. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. Got them. A little squeeze on that last you felt. So these are kind of a little bit drier than the others, but those also look like dried out steatos. Oh, had a good bit. And they're not huge. Just gonna come back and check some of these that we've gotten. That one's got a big cluster of hair coming out right now. Right here. So that one is what's causing the pigment. All rolled up tight. That group of dark hairs. And these are just tiny little 1 millimeter sliver cuts. So these are not going to cause big scars, anything like that. But we're getting the contents out, which is good. Pretty much got all those. Good. And that should make those bumps go down a lot. This was one that was a little inflamed. I know you had some scar tissue there before. I remember it from last time, actually.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think you did.
Yeah, right in that area,
like
we did one right there. We might want to do like a little, that was one red surface there. Maybe I did an injection for you to get the inflammation to go down on some of these. Do you remember? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I might want to do that there because you have some scar tissue there. I can feel just like those other ones. And I don't want that to get all big on you and then cause more pigment. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. So we did about 20 or so there. Little squeeze. Just gonna check all these ones for anything at the bottom because these were small ones. Kind of popped when we first got them. Yeah, you can see all the hairs on that. You see that here? Mm-hmm. These little hairs coming out.
Oh, what the?
Yeah, let me get the forceps.
Oh, wow.
Let's see, quite a bit. And there can be a lot in there just rolled up. They're actually really tiny hairs, so to even be able to see them is like 20, 30 hairs altogether, just clustered.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's quite a bit actually in these. That's good. Get that last bit out. There was still some in there. Getting the hairs. Good. Just looking for, there's one right here. Here's 3 of that cluster of dark ones that you're seeing, just the end. That was the end of that little line. I can just get those real quick if you want.
Yeah, you should get them.
Is that okay? Yeah. Just 1. 2. 3. Good. You did great. Last one. That was all 4 in a row. You can see right there. So it's good to get that out. There's just, yeah, it's a lot. And you can see the little hairs in them too. All right, I think that's probably enough for today, right? I know that's a lot for you, all the pushing and everything, but I wanted to get that whole row going up there. Just do a little bit more squeeze to get that hair at the end. Big cluster right there. Look at all that hair. So that's what you're seeing. I know when you were like, why are these ones darker? That's that little group of dark ones right there. They all had those hairs in there. Sorry, just getting the last bit. Look at that cluster.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
That's what's causing the dark pigment. Let me get all the little clusters out. Good. And you can see now, when we pull that, those are totally flat. So I think that's going to do great. These are like totally flat. And those were dark ones that you were seeing there. Nothing really left in there now. So that's good. I do see one more there if you want. I can get it. That was part of that cluster.
Yeah.
Yeah, just one?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're doing great. I know it's not fun.
It just hurts the part where
the
you
little
pinch.
poke, yeah.
No, where you pinch.
When I pinch.
Yeah.
Right there. Good. You did great. That was a pretty good one.
Oh, yeah. So, is it dry? Or?
Yeah, that one was kind of in between.
Oh.
Very nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Gosh, probably 30 plus there. And I'm pulling, just looking for anything that's significant and kind of raised up there. Yeah, you have couple little dry ones right there. You can see those hairs starting to come out. So one that I do see that's kind of dark for you, if you look when I pull, is that little one there and that one that's kind of raised. Do you want to get those or want to wait till next time? It's up to you. There's just one dark one right there. It's not real big.
I see it. And then
that'll pop right out. And then that bigger one. Yeah.
Yeah, you can.
You have one big one there too.
Yeah, you get that one.
Okay. Yeah, that one's kind of dark.
Yeah, I can feel it poking.
Yeah, it's really poking out. Get those couple here for you. It'll just be one little pinch, okay? That one is likely a steato. Same with that. Right there. Good, you did great. And one last dark one. Right here. Yeah, the abdomen's good. Easier to do a finger squeeze. Those are hairs there too. Good. I'll get that cluster for you.
Do a lot of people get them like on their, like on, I know you said like the arm area.
Chest is one of the most common. That one was just a big kind of creamy steato there. And I'm not seeing a lot of sacs. That's a big cluster of hair in there too. You can see that was causing the dark. Some people that have sacs that are pretty easy, readily coming out, they'll be right at the surface when you kind of poke on these smaller ones. And I've been kind of trying to pull those out. I don't really see many sacs for you. And I don't want to go real deep and cut it wider. So even pinching with these, a lot of people in the last video are like, why didn't you get the sac? When we're pinching down in there, it's not really readily available. And for those, I don't dig deep because that'll cause more pigment for you. So we don't want to do that.
Like more pigment,
like hyperpigmentation, yeah. Some people, Latin skin in particular, and African American skin tends to pigment if you're getting real rough with it. So lighter skin, not so much, but you know, everybody's different. And we get what we can kind of get out easily with minimal scarring. So you see some of those dark ones there. We can, you know, get those on the next round if you want. Yeah. You see those two if you want. Just those two and we'll call it a day. Those are really the only ones I see when I pull.
Yeah, you get those.
That'll be good. We keep pulling more skin and see if a couple more you got stretch. Just two little pokes here. Well,
ow.
How one you felt more? Yeah, just those two. It's like, what's worse, the shot or that poke, you know? What do you think?
I think it's
the poke?
The poke.
Yeah. That's good.
And the pinch, like when you squeeze the...
Yeah, the pinch when we get really down deep in there. We got a lot of hair on that. Look at those.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Are they dry or?
No, those are just kind of creamy. You can see, but
they look dry when you first.
But you can see when you smear it even why you're getting that little off color there. That's what you're seeing under the skin is those dark hairs all mixed together. So that's good. I think we got that whole kind of clustered area there, and that one's just a little scab from last time, I think. There's a little blackhead plug in there. That was it. But that's good. So we can work on another area, let you heal a little bit. We did go a little rougher, so I want to see if you're going to get any hyperpigmentation at all from that. Just because I used a little bit bigger blade so we could get more of the hairs out to get the pigment to go down for you. So yeah, that one's clear. So we'll get her just to kind of one of the big Band-Aids there. And you can another good session. From the last one, we could see, because I was doing the 15 or the 25 gauge needle, we're not making a big hole on that. It's less than a millimeter. It's just one little poke, and we're getting the kind of contents and the juicy stuff out. And some of the hairs came out, but the clusters, some of them stayed in there. And when we drained them, you could kind of see little dark spots that look like blackheads because we got the contents out and then the cluster of hair is still there. So this time we wanted to try and not, you know, do any burning or anything like that, but a little bit bigger. The tip of the 11 blade goes about 1.5 millimeters. So it was almost a full millimeter more, and you could see we got a lot more hairs out. So I'm hoping as this heals, she's not going to see the dark spots, because that's what's bothering her the most is a little kind of off grayish spots you see. And getting those out, I think, will be helpful. But this is, you know, this is a chronic condition. We try to see what works best and then emulate that with the least amount of physical pigmentation or scarring. So we'll do a couple more sessions. We kind of go slow. You know, there is fatigue. You know, these little pinches kind of, it's like death by 1,000 bites or stings. We don't want to do too many so she can heal okay and feel good. So thanks for popping by. Thanks to her for sharing.